where the wind blows.
And join in the chat a bit.
Thank you for having me on. Yeah, this is our second album we've put out, and I don't know, we're real proud of it. The first one was good and it was a lot of fun, but I feel like, we've just got a lot better, got sturdier legs under us, and I don't know, we're all three feeling like we're better musicians this time around, and we're really proud of what came of it.
Totally. And the record you're referring to is There's a Well, right? That came out in 2023. Again, a great record, but I totally get you, Blake, in saying the evolution of what's happened with you guys. And I think you guys took it like 3 or 4 steps forward with this latest one. Now, you guys are from West Texas, right? Friends before bandmates? Like you guys had known each other for a while, or fraternized in the same circuits or the same circles for a while?
Yeah, we were all living in Lubbock. The other 2 boys are from there, and I was going to college there, and we all met there going to the local shows and everything, and it was a really cool little house show scene out there, and we wanted to play music. We wanted to play the house shows, and we weren't very good, but then we got better and we started playing house shows, and it was but yeah, friends before band.
Totally. And the evolution has been pretty dramatic, would you not say? Now, just maybe to describe a little bit, Blake, some of what comes out of you guys is, I mean, they call it kind of dirtgaze. It's slowcore. It's psych. It's such a hard genre to classify, or music to classify, I should say. But I was looking through Texas and kind of doing a deep dive back into their history of slowcore, kind of alt grunge, well, not grunge, but gazy more. And Bedhead came to mind. Like, and I used to be a huge fan of Bedhead when they first came out in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Just like, and I never felt that spirit that they put out until this record. And I find that it is the slow fast that you guys like to dabble in has been so underutilized over the last 10 15 years. So when the record, and I got a chance to listen to it a little bit ahead of time, it just it brought me back to those days when I was a snotty-nosed kid growing up up here in Canada. But the memories that it brought me back just through listening to the guitar and the delivery and that sequencing. So my question is, when did you guys nail upon that slow, fast kind of style of writing your songs?
Well, I think a lot of that probably comes from our drummer. He's just he's such an amazing drummer, and if we didn't let him shine, that would be such a waste. So he has a bunch of crazy ideas. We have to shut him down on a lot of them. He goes too wild, but we I don't know. Also, we just come from a place of not really knowing too much theory and everything. So it's really nice to be able to break down. He knows how to break down like the time signatures and everything. We had a song in 5/4, and before we were playing with him, and we didn't know that we didn't know what it was. We couldn't figure it out, and so then he told us what it was, and then the speed ups and everything. That's always just a fun thing to do. It happens while we're jamming, and then sometimes it makes it into the songs.
Nice. And who pens the song? Like, who brings the ideas in? Is it a conglomerate of all three of you, or are you the one that would bring an idea in and say, I think I have something here with a couple of chords and I have a few lines in my head? Like, how does one of your songs in Shallowater come to be?
Different songs come about different ways. Some of those songs Tristan brings in, some of the songs I bring in, and then a lot of them we work on together. We'll bring in a half-baked idea, and then we usually come up with the lyrics last. That's usually big collaborative effort. That's always been the trickiest part for us, trying to, we have this whole song here, and what do we want it to say? That's a tough thing to figure out sometimes.
Yeah, totally,
But
totally. And is that collaboration like? Do the songs come in like kind of like pretty well defined, or is there tons of room in there to like? Are you surprised sometimes of how the song comes in and then what it evolves into?
yeah, so a lot of the times, like for Untitled Cowboy, for instance, I brought that one in, like, in my head it was pretty well cooked,
Hmm.
but the whole like feel of it, and everything that goes on, the speed ups and the slow downs, that all came with just playing it together and thinking, you know the collective mind rather than just my head in my bedroom.
Right.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so they all just kind of take a life of their own once they get out
Right.
in the middle of the room.
Right. And is it crazy for me to suggest that you guys grew up listening to like heavy music?
uh Maybe the other two boys for sure. I grew up pretty sheltered.
Mm,
My mom didn't want me listening to rock and roll, if believe it or not.
mm,
But so I grew up listening to a lot of country and various things. But definitely, whenever I got to college, especially, I uh, it was a whole new world of all the music that ever existed that I got to go through, and it was a really great time, and I got inspired by a lot. There's a lot that I'm sure I'm inspired by that I don't even know.
mm, mm. And Blake, were you already writing songs and like interested in becoming a musician before you entered into college? Like, was that happening at home as you were growing up in high school and all of that?
Yeah, Lonely Sea off the first album. I wrote that one whenever I was like 14, I
Mm.
believe.
Wow.
I I don't know. I've always wanted to do music, and so now it's really nice to actually be doing it. And
Right.
that was a nice little song that everybody else seemed to like it. So we tried to take a real whack at it and put it on a record. So we did.
Mm. Awesome. And Blake, what's your process? How do you get from an idea to a song? Like, are you the kind of musician that has to do something every day, or do you wait till inspiration kicks in, or till something that pops in front of you and inspires you? Like, what's your process like from for writing, for being a musician, I guess?
I feel like for me, it's kind of ebbs and flows. I play guitar all the time, but I'm not always writing. And but like there's little windows of where I feel super creative, and a lot of the time nothing really comes of it, but there'll be little weeks where I'm like, oh yeah, this is a really cool idea. I'm gonna keep going. That leads to another cool idea, and that leads to another cool idea, and sometimes you get a song you like out of it, and sometimes not.
Right? Do you keep all those little, you know,
Yes,
pieces to like
they're all
maybe reharvest one day, or
I have like a million voice memos, and maybe I'll go through them one day.
right? So is that also a part of your practice? Is you'll always have kind of your phone, and like you'll capture ideas through the recorder on your phone.
Yes, yeah, and that way you don't forget, and you can go back, and if I take a video of it, then I can remember how I was playing that. But
Mm,
it's a really frustrating thing to forget an idea.
right,
Um,
right.
I forgot a lot of them, but they probably weren't that good anyway. So
They'll come back eventually,
yeah, yeah, the good
right?
ones will.
That's right. That's right. And how did you guys kind of walk into, like, I know playing subtle is very hard. Like, it's not, you have to, people's tendency when they play is like to, rock it out. It seems almost easier, like when there's lots of noise, because you can hide stuff in there. But
Yeah.
your sound is like, it's there. Like, I heard that you guys don't use a lot of pedals, effects. You keep the stuff pretty clean. Is that an accurate statement, Blake?
It's a pretty minimal pedal board.
Yep.
I think on the record I'm using uh not counting the tuner pedal, I think 3 pedals. Um,
And
so
was that
yeah,
always the intent of you guys of Shallow Water, is to keep it clean with enough space in there as well?
yeah. Especially with this record, we had more of an idea of what we wanted to do with this new record. The first one was just kind of, you know, throwing everything at the wall, figuring out what we can do, and then this time around we had a concise idea of it's a really hard thing to do, um, to be so slow and so soft sometimes, but I really like that kind of music, so
Yeah.
wanted to be able to pull that off.
Well, you do it,
Um,
man. You do it with grace and integrity, and like it's um like I've tried to do those kinds of things, and it's so exhausting to slow it all down so that
yeah,
there's enough room for the music to just be. Um, and I find the interplay between your guitar and your bass player amazing. But the drummer, as you were mentioning, I mean, it just adds this. It's more than a drum. It's like almost another instrument or a voice speaking. It's really quite unbelievable how you guys assembled all that together.
it's really nice, and yeah. As for the bass, Tristan plays bass in a really special way.
Hmm.
I wouldn't want to play with anyone else because I think the way he plays it, it fills out the three piece. The three piece would sound pretty empty. But I don't know. He's kind of playing the bass and secondary guitar
Yeah.
simultaneously, so it leaves a lot of room for me to you know dance around and figure out what I actually want to play.
Right.
Um,
Right. And
so
like, how long does that process take when the three of you together? Like, say you have an idea that you're trying to, you have an idea of a song and you're still kind of working it. Where do you find your entry point, I guess, in the song for guitar?
so
Like as you were mentioning.
yeah, like with Sadie, that's like a bass line that Tristan has had kicking around for a long time,
Hmm.
since before we moved out of Lubbock, I think. But I just never could really figure out what to do with it. What I'm supposed to be playing on it and everything. And so it took a long time. And then we just kept jamming on it in spare time, and finally we it was slow, but it came together. But then there's other songs where like $1 million came together really fast.
Hmm.
It's really We haven't written two songs the same process, I don't feel like, but
Cool. And what's the connection with Ethel Kane? Um, I read something in one of the reviews. Could you elaborate on that collaboration or connection or?
yeah, so I think that the reason anybody's heard of us is because of her. So I'm very grateful for that. I think so what happened was there was a TikTok posted by our friends Outside Noise, and that TikTok for some reason got picked up quite a bit, and I believe Ethel Kane's roommate saw that and liked the song, or liked one of the songs, and shared that with Ethel Kane, and then she put us on her playlist, and that really did so much for us, and then we got to meet her at one of her shows in New York, and that was really special.
And have you guys like? Do you guys admire? Like, had you known about her before, like, and what she does as her craft as well?
I was definitely aware of her. I hadn't listened that much before it became relevant, in my life. But there's a lot of music I haven't heard, so that's not a dig.
No, totally. There is a mass amount of music out there that we'll never all listen to. It's impossible, but
Yeah.
and it just never stops. How do you navigate the record cycle? Like there is always such this huge buildup, right? When you're putting a record together, it comes out, you know, like how do you and your band kind of navigate that cycle of, okay, we have this thing, this archive we're going to create. We want to put it down on a record. We want to put it out on digital platforms. The day comes, it goes.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
yeah,
it's been a
yeah.
real crazy process because the first record we did, we put it out with a local label, and they they did a lot of the little the busy work, like the nitty gritty.
Right.
Um, and this record we have put out independently, and it's been crazy to find out how much really goes into all the I's you got to dot and all the T's you got to cross. We've gone with a distribution platform and figuring out how to work all that, and then handling our own merch and everything. There's just so much, and then hopping on calls like this. It's
Right.
trying to keep your schedule in line.
Yeah, totally, totally. Well, and keeping that kind of flow or that line of the record out there, so that it's still getting talked about a bit and shared and
Yeah,
pontificated on, etc.
trying to get it in front of people that haven't heard it yet, and there's there's a lot to that. And then also, touring on top of that, we just went on our first real tour with our real good friends in the band, World's Worst, and that was a great tour. And that was in July, and it was a great experience and really exhausting. And then now, next week we're going back out with the Raveonettes, and I you know, I knew I knew it was going to be busy, but it's daunting, but in a good way. This is what I wanted to do, but
Totally.
I'm I'm a little overwhelmed, but it's good to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that like, what was the decision process for saying, okay, this one it's DIY, we're doing it ourselves? Like, what brought you guys to that decision of saying that with the latest record?
Well, we hadn't intended to go independent with this one. I think we were waiting around for something to happen, and nothing ended up happening. And then we got to thinking, well, if it's going to come out this year, we better make something happen. So, we didn't want to wait around on it forever. Wanted to, we were excited first off to put it out. We've been sitting on it for a while. It's in our phones and everything, but wanted to put it out and wanted to keep the momentum from the last album. Didn't want that to completely die off. So it was a weird decision to make. It felt weird. But I think we made the right call, and I'm overjoyed to have this thing out there.
And like, kind of looking back on it, like, what do it's, you've created this archive, of a period in time, what is September, whatever it came, what, 10th, I think it was?
September 5th.
5th, yeah,
Yeah,
September
yeah.
5th. The archive came out. The world could finally listen to it. How do you are you finding that people are getting what you wanted out of the record? Like, are you finding that the people that are listening to it are getting what you guys were trying to do?
I think so. I think a lot of people that I've talked to have, you know, gotten a lot out of, different people will tell me different songs resonated with them, and a lot of the time I'm like, yeah, that's what it does for me too. But then it's also really exciting to hear someone have a different take that completely wasn't in my head, and it means something totally different to them than what I intended. But that's a really beautiful part of it all too. It's
And when you guys were touring in July, did you have some cool encounters with your fans, like at shows and stuff? Like, could you tell that people were really into what you guys are doing?
There was a lot of special moments like that. I'm gonna kick myself for not remembering his name, but we played our first show on that tour in Kansas City,
Hmm.
and there was a guy there that drove all the way from Nebraska, um, and he drove several hours to come see us, and that's a surreal feeling. Like, why would you do that? You know, like, but it's it means a whole lot, and it's very reassuring. You know, it feels weird to say you're taking music seriously. You know, there's a I don't know. You know, in my head, it feels weird. You know, it's like what I feel kind of silly,
Hmm.
um, but to see it actually mean something to somebody is you know, that's very reassuring, very special feeling.
Yeah. The validation of all of that work and effort that
Yeah,
somebody's getting something out of it. You know, it might not be exactly what our intent was, but it's something for them that means a lot to them. So that's pretty
yeah,
special. It's a great feeling to have as well, that you're connecting to other humans on a different kind of plane, because no words are exchanged. It's just through what you created.
yeah. No, it's a really special connection, and you know, I think of all the music that's meant a lot to me over my life, and I I don't know, I want to do that for somebody, and it's it's nice to have it out there to where there's a bunch of people out there that I'll never meet that can listen to it, and
Yeah, totally.
that's a really cool part about the the whole internet age and all that.
Mm,
You know, as cheesy as it is, but you know, you can just upload something, and you know, there's all the pitfalls to Spotify and all that,
sure.
but it is cool that anybody can put anything out, and you know, you don't have to print CDs or get your record pressed or anything. It's
Totally.
you can
Yeah,
just
I mean,
connect.
you just have to go gander at your Bandcamp page. I mean, you can see
Yeah,
the attention that this record's getting. It's only been 2 weeks, and I mean, you got a lot of people that have downloaded it, which I love to see. It's just so encouraging, I find, when you're finding a record that you really like, and then you also see that it's validated by all these other people. It's a special process, that's for sure.
yeah. I, all the support has really floored me. Just seeing all these people, even just say nice things about it. Uh, it's
Yeah, the
it's
reviews have been
surreal.
great, eh, Blake? Like, the reviews overall have been, the ones I read anyway, were really nice. And
Yeah,
like,
there's a couple of them that say it's kind of boring and everything, but you know, they're right too. You know, it
some
can be
people
boring.
don't, they
Yeah.
need, they don't like space, like if it's too
Yeah.
spacey, too much space in between, it freaks some people out, but other people, like, they crave that. Me,
Yeah.
for example. Um, well, Blake, I want to thank you. This has been a real treat to talk with you. I guess my last question is, what can we anticipate for the rest of 2025, 2026 from Shallowater? What's coming down the pipe that you can share with us?
Well, I think we're working on music slowly but surely, and I think it's happening again. You know, we're constantly growing. Like as musicians and songwriters. So I'm really excited to see what comes next. You know, what we can pull off. And that that'll be down the road, but I'm excited to see what comes.
And are there any other dates coming up of shows that
Yeah,
we can
we're
anticipate?
we're going out with the Raveonettes. I think I don't have all the dates in front of me, but
Yeah, I'll post them on the descriptor. But you're on the road soon. Like, you go out for how long? How long's this run for?
yeah, I think we got 5 shows with them. We got Chicago, New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, and DC, I think.
Right
Um,
on. Right on.
yeah,
Those lucky buggers. Anyway, eventually, I definitely want you to bring your dirt gaze up to cold Canada so that we
yeah,
can have a listen. And it's been just such a pleasure, Blake, and all the best too with this record, the one coming down the pipe, which will be sometime, and also your shows. Keep keep finding that magic that you guys are producing, and I mean, it just sparks. So congratulations on this record. And people out there, go check one of those shows if you're in that area. get a t-shirt, buy the record, support these guys. You will thank Blake for doing it, and you'll thank me for having him on the cast. So, Blake, thanks so much. And
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
You've got your $1,000,000 and a handful of roses. You were always thinking out loud, and I start to miss that when I get